This wasn't my fight, but I wasn't about to walk away from it either. I was only in the staff room to microwave soup. What I got instead was closure. Becca and Nathan were already mid-spat when I walked in. No greetings, just tension thick enough to ice skate across. Becca's nostrils flared, her default setting when someone dared question her emotional intelligence. Nathan had that squint he gets when he's building up to a monologue about workplace dynamics he half read on LinkedIn. I stood quietly by the microwave, waiting for the beep. They didn't acknowledge me. Fine by me. I was about to watch two people I loathed try to verbally murder each other. I would have paid tickets for this. Because when you took minutes, Nathan, half the action items disappeared, Becca snapped, folding her arms like a playground tattletale who thinks she's Joan of Arc. Nathan shrugged. They weren't relevant. I was streamlining for clarity. Becca actually laughed. Clarity? You removed my entire section. Ding! Soup's ready. As I stirred, I flashed back to 6 months ago, Becca's defining moment. She'd thrown me under the bus in a team meeting because I'd used a blue highlighter instead of a yellow in a shared document. It's a visibility issue, she said in that faux concerned tone. Some of us are more mindful of accessibility. HR lapped it up, called her a champion of inclusive practice. I called her something else. Silently, of course. Back in the room, Nathan smirked. You're upset because I didn't prioritize your pet project. That's not sabotage, that's editing. She turned to me. You were there? Do you think that was deliberate? I took a long sip of soup. I saw an edit. Whether it was sabotaged or just poorly disguised contempt, I couldn't possibly say. Then I added, although, Becca, your voice was raised in that meeting, some might have perceived that as aggressive. Her mouth opened, closed, rage simmering. She turned back to Nathan, now with sharpened claws. I spooned in another mouthful. Becca wasn't done with me after the colour incident. A month later, she invited me to co-lead a well-being working group. The real purpose? She needed someone to blame when her half-baked yoga and gratitude scheme flopped. She gave me space to lead, then quietly went behind my back to tell the director my energy wasn't aligned with the vision. Her words. Mine were unprintable. You always gaslight people like this, she barked at Nathan. You pretend to be neutral, but you're constantly undermining. Nathan turned to me. You know how she gets. Tell me I'm wrong. I put the spoon down. Honestly, you're both exhausting. Becca weaponizes advocacy. You weaponize calm. It's like watching two emotional hostage takers negotiate with each other. They blinked. Nathan recovered first. At least I don't cry in feedback sessions. Oh. Becca looked like she'd been slapped. I had allergies, she hissed. You had tears, Becca. We had to pause the meeting. You made me feel unsafe. I made you feel seen. And just like that, the gloves were off. I leant back in my chair, leg crossed, soup cradled like a martini. This wasn't just a fight. This was ancestral. Old resentments in new clothes. Nathan had a history too. Once, after he delayed giving me feedback on a report, he emailed my manager preemptively. Just noting that I'm flagging some time pressure, I'm hoping to offer support if needed. I want to ensure the rhythm stays productive. I hadn't flagged anything. He'd sat on the file for a week, then made it sound like I'd panicked. He also had this habit of calling me mate in emails, but only when he was being condescending. Becca, meanwhile, was the kind of person who brought cupcakes for the team, then waited until everyone had eaten before announcing they were vegan and had no sugar, and staring at whoever was halfway through theirs like they'd just clubbed a seal. Back in the room, the volume was rising. You edit everything I do, Nathan. You submit drafts like you're live blogging your brain. Oh, screw you. Professional, as always. Becca spun to me again. You've worked with both of us. Who would you rather collaborate with? I tilted my head, mock considering. Collaborate how? If I needed something turned in late and blamed on Mercury retrograde, you. If I wanted a polished deck full of buzzwords and half-truths, Nathan. Nathan snorted. That's rich, coming from someone who once submitted a PowerPoint full of typos. I smiled, and yet somehow my typos didn't make an entire HR subcommittee think the department was being sued. Funny that. Becca snorted so hard she wheezed. Nathan's jaw clenched. This was it. They were fully off the leash now. You take credit for everything, Becca growled. You're obsessed with credit because your work is forgettable, Nathan snapped. Oh please, the only reason you're even in this job is because you failed upward after the Peterson account collapsed. Becca was now shouting. Nathan, ever the slippery eel, smirked. I was moved laterally. Into a team where you don't do anything. Unless I don't performative post on Teams about grief spaces after a celebrity dies. That was Leslie Jordan, you Philistine. You think wellness is ice baths and pickle juice, Becca shot back. And you think leadership is speaking in a calm voice while slowly ruining people's weeks, Nathan snapped. I nearly choked on my soup. You use Grammarly for everything, Becca sneered at Nathan. He didn't flinch. It's called leveraging digital tools, so I don't freeball commas like a tortured genius. She scoffed. You wouldn't realize voice if it throat punched you. And you wouldn't recognize subtlety if it served you a turmeric latte and asked you about your feelings. Becca turned to me. Seriously, tell me I'm wrong. Every email he sends has the tone of a half-functioning AI trained on TED Talks and smugness. Nathan barked a laugh. Better than sounding like a reality TV contestant on a wellness sabbatical. You talk about barley like it's a state of mind. Becca blinked. Excuse me? My soul realigned in Ubud. You posted that on Teams like it was a therapy breakthrough. She jabbed a finger at his chest. You talk about Fitzroy like it isn't filled with junkies and stolen pushbikes. He raised his eyebrows. And yet, somehow, it still has fewer toxic elements than your group chats. Oh my God! I held up a hand. Can I just say, as an objective observer, this is the best use of my lunch break since they sacked Karen. There was a moment, just one small moment, where they both looked to me again, like they needed a ref, or a witness, or a neutral third party who would confirm the other one was the villain. I cleared my throat. If this was a boxing match, I'd say Becca's ahead on volume, but Nathan's got the reach. Though, frankly, you're both too emotionally brittle to last 12 rounds. Silence. They stared at me, I held that stare. Then I took another sip. Becca was the first to crack. She grabbed her keep cup, muttered something about hostile environments, and stormed out. Nathan didn't move. He looked like he was trying to slow his own pulse by sheer will. "She's unstable," he said. I rinsed my bowl at the sink. "So are lithium batteries, still useful in the right device." He blinked. I dried the spoon with a paper towel and placed it on the rack. "Best lunch I've had in years," I said, more to myself than to him. Shame there was no popcorn. And I walked out, soup-fueled and lighter than I'd felt in months. 2 days later, HR sent out a vague email about respectful communication and passions running high. The next day, our team lead asked if I witnessed anything. I paused. "I wouldn't say witnessed," I replied. "More observed, like an eclipse." My lead raised an eyebrow. "Was it serious?" I smiled. "Let's just say if it happens again, I'd like to be notified. I'll bring snacks." The next Tuesday, I passed Becca in the hallway outside the breakout space. She smiled. Tight. "Hey, wild week, huh?" I nodded. "Are you alright?" "Yeah, just trying to stay grounded, you know?" She forced a laugh. "You probably think I'm unhinged." I raised an eyebrow. "No more than usual." That was enough to knock the wind out of her fake zen. She blinked. "Wow, brutal." I shrugged. "Just honest. You tried to take me down twice last year. I figure I've earned a few dry one-liners." She opened her mouth to respond, then shut it again. I walked off without another word. Last year's well-being week, Becca had cornered me in the staff room with Nathan and suggested I co-facilitate a journaling circle. When I declined, she asked if I was afraid of emotional transparency. Nathan chuckled and added, "Sometimes the most resistant voices are the ones that need reflection the most." I remember smiling, then writing both their names down in my notes app under a new list titled, "People I will never throw a lifebuoy to, no matter how cold the water is." You don't always get justice in the nice, clean arc. Sometimes it arrives in fragments. A microwave beep, a sharpened pencil, a keep cup flung too hard into the sink. But sometimes you get to watch two snakes devour each other in slow motion, and you realize you didn't have to lift a finger. You just had to show up, stir your soup, and press play. Before you go, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. And if you're looking for more videos like this, I've got you covered. Just click on the videos here to keep watching. See you in the next one.